What if I could show you how to increase your eBay store by 10%, 25, 50, or even 100%, double your sales in the next 30 to 45 days by basically taking control of it and doing the work for you? Well, let me show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, welcome back into the channel, Rockstars. And this video is super important because I think a lot of sellers are absolutely failing on these two things. So number one is I am doing fulfillment and listing and photographs for a ton of people, hundreds of sellers right now, and a lot of you have some amazing inventory. However, a lot of people are sending in long tail inventory and inventory that really isn't that good. It's borderline just iffy, run-of-the-mill stuff, and it's not stuff that's gonna fly off the shelves like we all want it to do. So the first thing is obviously maximizing what we're selling, the best possible items. So I'm gonna take you over to my screen and I'm gonna show you 10 items that you can find anywhere: garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores, moving sales, pawn shops, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, tons of places that you can find these items and they actually sell. And not just sell, like list them and they sell in 6 months. List them and they actually move. They start getting interest, they start getting offers, and they will actually, have a sell-through rate that is reasonable for your store. That's number one. That's obvious. Everyone knows that, but I'm gonna show you more of it in a second. Number two is not being married to your inventory. This is the biggest problem I see with almost every seller we deal with, a majority of them, and every seller I have ever done store reviews for. They're just way overpriced. They decide to run a sale, but then they cut their free shipping, or they're taking offers that they have a $60 item and they get offered $40, and they're just decline. They're countering at $59.98. People are just too attached to their inventory. The name of the game is turn and burn. And I don't mean give stuff away, but be reasonable and move the inventory. Stop sitting on it. And so I was thinking to myself, I make these videos and I tell people to do this, but I don't think they actually go and implement it, or they don't know how to implement it, or they don't know what I'm talking about. So how could I help them? And I talked to a few friends and a few people that have eBay stores that I wanted to help. And I went in their stores and I looked through them all. And for about a week, I did some revisions. I did some repricing for them. I got their approval. I wasn't just free gung-ho, whatever I wanted to do, but I was able to actually be that outside set of eyes and go to them and go, look, this isn't a $60 laptop, okay? Realistically, it's $40. Like, you've got to be realistic. Have you had offers on this? Like, yeah, I had a 30, 35, 38. I'm just declining them. I countered them at 55, and I'm like, oh, sell the laptop for $40. That's what it's worth. You're so attached to it. You're holding on to this inventory, paying to store it in storage units, paying to keep it in your garage. You're holding cost is something a lot of people don't understand. Even if you don't have a storage unit, you're holding cost, your storage space, your garage space, your time, the money you have in it. Let's say you spent $10 on it. You still have that $10 out. And so I wanted to take the opportunity to offer anybody that's watching this video that wants to email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. It's going to take me some time, and I can only work with a limited few customers right now until I get a process and a system down. But I would love to be somebody who, through eBay's safe multi-user access, could go into your store and check your prices, check your titles, check your item specifics, just basically do a complete audit of your store and recommend and show you, like, hey, you need to edit all this stuff. You need to run this kind of sale, this kind of promoted, and let it go for a week or 2 weeks. And I'll check the updates and see what we can do to improve your store and really get you in that mindset of moving that inventory and selling it. Because if you're not, you're going to sit on this stuff and it's going to go from selling in 1 month to 3 months to 6 months to a year. And I bet you have a ton of that stuff. One thing I can do during the audit is sort this stuff by the listing dates and really help you start just moving this inventory out. So if there's a few people who would be interested in that, email me at rockstarflipper@gmail.com. First come, first serve. I'll check the emails. I'll try to get to as many people as possible. I helped some people out. I just basically told them to just pay me whatever they wanted to pay me. And some of them paid me a few bucks. Some of them paid me more than a few bucks. And I appreciated that. I don't really know what this service is worth or what I should charge people to audit their store and go through it all and do an entire, week to 2 weeks or even up to a month's worth of price checking and increasing. I just know that I can help you sell more stuff, hundreds of dollars, possibly thousands of dollars extra in the next 30 days, 15 to 30 days, whatever, 2 weeks to 4 weeks. And I really want to help people move and sell that stuff. When you email me, I'm going to think about this for a few minutes. When you email me, I'll try to come up with some sort of price, dirt cheap price. Like, I don't want hundreds of dollars to do this, not at all. Absolutely not. I'll come up with something and I'll email it back to you, but I definitely want to help a few people at least. And I'm only one person, so my time's going to be limited. So, first come, first serve. I don't know how many people I can do, 5, 10, we'll see. But, yeah, that's something that's so important to sellers. Don't be married to the inventory. You got to sell it and move it. So that's number 2. So back to number 1, some of these great items that you can find everywhere, 10 of them. Let's jump over to my screen. I'll show them to you. And then hopefully between the new items, you looking for these items, listing better stuff, and then not being married to the inventory, whether you get my help or not, you can certainly audit it yourself. We can help you start rolling this inventory out and getting those sales numbers up. We'll take screenshots of your sales now, your 30, 60, 90 days, and your number of items and what you have and all that stuff. And then we'll update it in like a month to see what we've done an increase, so I can kind of have some reviews so other people can see how well this works out. So without further ado, we'll jump to the screen and then I'll leave the rest up to you guys. My email is, of course, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. It's down below as well. And I can't wait to look at some of your stores and help all of you out. If you are one of my listing or fulfillment customers, feel free to email me. I'll definitely put you in the list as well as fast as I can. Okay, so this video doesn't get too long. I'm going to blow through these super fast and just give you my experience on them and type of items. You guys can do the rest. This should help you expand what you're looking for as you're out. Your mind might, click something and say, hey, I remember, Casey said that to check those out while I was out at yard sales or thrift stores or whatever it might be. So number 1 is small electronics. Anything portable electronic, whether it's CD players or Walkmans or vintage or remote controls or iPods or MP3 players, anything that's portable, small. If it's small enough to fit in your hands and it's a piece of electronic and it's something sellable, like a cool wireless mouse or something small, remote controls, again, you have to look everything up. I'm going to give you generic ideas, general categories. You got to do the research when you see these items. But if you see something small and electronics sell. Their sell-through rate is just better than anything else. And you might need to spend more money. You might have to pay $20 or $30 for an iPod Classic, but then you're going to sell it for $60 or $70. You might be like, oh, I'm spending $20 to make $25. Right, you're spending $20 to make $25 or $30, but it's going to sell really, really quickly. So you got to keep that in mind. What would it take if you're selling clothing for $25 and making 10 or 15? You need to sell 2 of them. How long would it take you to sell 2 pieces of clothes versus selling 1 piece of electronic that you might be able to make more money on that one electronic? Even though you have to pay up for it, you're going to turn that money over faster. Kind of a mindset you have to think about. So that's number 1. You guys can see these things might be 30, 40, 50 bucks. You can pick them up. Yard sales, garage sales, I bought them all the time. I used to buy them. I have them on video. 3, 4, 5 bucks. Put them up for 25, 30. They'd sell within the week. Have the money back and make myself a nice little 10, 15, $20 profit. Great for yard sales, great for estate sales. Thrift stores, you'll find them occasionally, but more so along the lines of those garage sales. Number 2 is anything video game related. The systems, the games, the accessories. Video games are just as old as time, and they are always going to be hot, and they always sell fast. Here's a Nintendo Game Boy Advance. These things are worth north of 70, 80 bucks, up into the hundreds sometimes. Sometimes some of the Game Boy Color Advance and Ingos can be worth 40 and 50. SPs 91 to 100. You can find these at a yard sale. Maybe somebody wants 20 bucks or 25 bucks. You buy it, put it up for 75, 80, boom, you made yourself $40 profit, right? You can find these at pawn shops all the time. They're going to probably put it out for 50 or 60, something that's worth 80 or 90. Where you're going to go in and you're going to go, hey, I can't pay 60 bucks. Would you take 40? If they'll take 40, fine. List it for 80. That's a $40 profit. You're going to pay 10 in ship and fees, and you're going to pay 5 in shipping, so you're gonna be at 15. Call it $17 plus the 40 you paid is 57. You sell for 80, you made $23. These things will fly off the shelf. Almost anything handheld electronic games will do it. Again, check your prices, check your solds, check your condition, make sure it works, move on. Number 3, headphones, wireless headsets, JBL, Bose, Turtle Beach, Beats, any of that kind of stuff, super expensive. I'm not talking about the cheapo ones you get in your iPhone box, not those. Actual over-the-head headphones like you're seeing here. These Beats Studio Pros sold for $134. Probably could buy those at a thrift store. At a pawn shop for 80 bucks, 75 bucks. Again, you make $30, $40. You will find these sometimes on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. You'll find them on yard sales, or at yard sales rather, estate sales, maybe 50 bucks. Maybe somebody just pops them out there. They're $50. You buy them, you list them for, $119.99 free shipping. So it's $120. You made $70. You pay your 15 or 20 bucks in fees and shipping. You made yourself, $40, whatever it is. Number 4 is shoes, Birkenstocks, right? Things like that. Things with a name that we understand, not your everyday run-of-the-mill. Shoes sell faster than clothes. They are still a little longer tail, but if you get things that are known, like a Birkenstock or a LeBron or a Kobe or a Nike, Air Ones or whatever it is, Air Force Ones, this is what people are looking for, and they will sell fast enough to keep moving. You're not going to hold on to a pair of Birkenstocks for 6 months as long as you're reasonable with the price. Again, another reason for me to maybe look through and audit your stores. Number 5 is tablets, cell phones, and any kind of mobile devices. Laptops could be lumped in here too, but old iPads. Look, this is an iPad Pro 1st gen, 32 gig, 12.9 inch. I own an iPad Pro 2nd gen, 12.9. I paid $1,000 for this thing originally. I think I've had it 5 years, maybe 6. I think I bought this in like 2018 or 19. It was definitely before COVID, but this thing probably worth, I paid $1,000 for it, probably worth $200 or $300 as a 2nd gen. Here's an iPad Pro 3rd gen, 256. I think mine is a 128. I didn't need it for a lot then, but that sold for $370. And you can see, if somebody like me had this for a long time and wasn't that savvy, I might put this out and go, man, I've had this thing forever. I'll take $100. I'll take 150. Maybe it's worth $250. Make yourself some money. So here's, this iPad Pro 12.9 inch, 128 gig gold, 175. That's a 1st gen. Mine's a 2nd gen, so maybe mine is worth 220, 240. And if I put it out on Facebook or wherever for, say, I don't know, $100, $150, you can make some nice profit on it. So something to think about there. But as always, be very careful with mobile devices, Apple iCloud locks, ESNs. Make sure you know what you're doing and be safe with the people that you're meeting. Meet them at the police station or inside of a Walmart, not in the parking lot. Parking lots are still dangerous, even in a major store. In the store, in the police station, in the DMV where there's a cop, somewhere safe. Highly, highly frauded and highly robbed items. iPads, iPhones, all that sort of stuff. Next is any kind of camera gear, especially GoPros, Canons, Nikons, Sonys, any kind of cameras. GoPros are great. I think I have like a GoPro 7 or 8. I don't even know what version my GoPros. I have a couple GoPros, but I believe my original one was like a 3 when I first bought one. And I believe the next one I bought was like a 7 or 8. I don't even know where they are right now, but those can still be worth 50 to 100, 150 bucks. So keep an eye out for camera gear. Some of the high-end lenses can be thousands of dollars. They're available at pawn shops. You'll see this kind of stuff at Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, and you'll see it a little bit at thrift stores. Now, name brand clothing, the longest tail on here. Don't get just everyday run-of-the-mill Under Armour plain dry fit shirts. I love these shirts. I wear the heck out of them. I get them for 15 bucks at like Dillard's or on sale or wherever they're, on sale online. I get them all the time. I love them. I destroy clothes. I'm not a huge fashion person in the sense that like I try to wear Gucci and Prada and all this stuff. I do have Robert Graham's and nice dress shirts and things, but for me, it doesn't matter, but there are a lot of people that it does matter. And if you're trying to sell this everyday stuff that I can just go on the internet at Under Armour and buy for 15 bucks, it's not worth any money, right? But if you want to go and get Robert Graham's and you want to get stuff that people are constantly looking for, Diane von Furstenberg or things that are just harder to find and harder to get, Yves Saint Laurent, then you can get that stuff and stock up. If you have a whole store of that designer stuff, then you're good. You don't want this run-of-the-mill stuff that's A, not worth a lot of money, and B, is going to take forever to sell because there's 999 million black Under Armour shirts with a blue logo, right? So just something to think about. Unique, sometimes ugly is worth getting, and just designer and name brand. And you'll find those anywhere. Obviously, thrift stores, yard sales, garage sales, estate sales for sure. Number 8 is purses. If you know what you're doing, purses and handbags. I stay away from this one, but I know there's a ton of you that like it, so I might as well throw it out there. Dooney & Burke, Coach, Louis, if you know what you're doing, Prada, Gucci, all the name brands. Yves Saint Laurent is still good. Michael Kors do good. I have a ton of clients that have like Michael Kors bags that don't look like anything special. They were originally retail $300-400, an expensive bag, but not insanely expensive. they purchased it out of somewhere like, say, a garage sale or yard sale somebody was having, and they sold the purse for $50. And now they've got it listed on eBay, with my listing service for $150. And so they're going to make a good profit. 100 less the $20 in fees means 80, less the $10 shipping means 70. That's a nice $70, $60, $70 profit. So it's really good. Linda's stuff always at the top because she has so much stuff. That's crazy. That's one way to make a lot of eBay sales, is just be Linda's stuff. Number 9 is watches and jewelry. A lot of you know a lot about sterling silver and turquoise and different kinds of jewelry. I know a lot about watches. Watches do well. I have quite a few customers and clients on my listing service who sell Movado. They sell Michelle watches. They sell Seiko. They sell Gucci. They sell any other brand you can think of. Tissot. They sell all these Breitlings. They sell a lot of watches that are maybe in the $200-$300 range, $175, $275. They pick them up at yard sales. They pick them up at estate sales. Estate sales are great. I had a lady pick up a Movado at an estate sale for $40, maybe $50, and it's listed for $199.99, and she's starting to get offers. We just put that one up, I think, last Friday, so it's only been up 3 or 4 days. She's gonna end up selling that thing for at least $150, if not $175, and she only paid $40 or $50 for it. Last one is kitchen appliances, home appliances, things like iRobots if they work, mixers, bullets, ninjas, any of this type of stuff, even the parts, really, really good, and they are super common in yard sales, garage sales, estate sales, all that sort of stuff. You will find them, not so much at thrift stores, even though you can find them there. Storage auction units, great. They come up in that a lot. And if I had to actually add an honorable mention, number 10, or number 11 rather, 11, it would be tools, like specialty tools, power tools, mechanic tools, any of that stuff that you see at garage sales, at yard sales, at moving sales, at storage auctions. Those would be like my honorable mention, number 11. Tools do really good, and they tend to sell pretty fast. If they're any of the name brands, Craftsman, Black & Decker, DeWalt, Milwaukee, Makita, Ryobi, you guys know the brands I'm talking about. All those type of brands are really, really good brands, and they will sell based on their name. Also, things like the tester units that we get, the flukes, those are super expensive. So look for that stuff as an honorable mention, number 11. If you stick to those 11 categories, or even just a few of them, and you stock your store with all games and media or purses, and you will do well. The shoes, the clothes, and the purses, probably at the bottom. But purses have a really good sell-through rate, actually. The shoes do okay, clothing at the bottom, but if you're somebody who's only buying clothing right now, consider going outside of your typical box, your Pandora's knowledge box, and add some of these items, and hopefully it helps you out. So that's the video for today, guys. July 23rd, 2024. Again, if you're interested in me taking a look through the store, auditing it, changing some prices, checking titles, doing like kind of just a complete makeover to your store, please email me, rockstarflipper@gmail.com, and I will get started for a few of you, as many as I can. Hopefully I can do 5 or 10 this week and see how it goes, and then do some reviews and come back and show everybody how it went and how their sales are in 7 and 14 and 21 days. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Sorry it's for a long video. I don't tend to do longer videos, but if you stuck around, I appreciate it. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, you guys. Share this video on your Instagram, your TikTok, your Facebook group, your MySpace, wherever you share stuff at. Please share the link and tell people that they have to stop being married to their inventory and they have to sell better stuff, and their sales will go up. Just take this link right from the URL, share it out there, and I really appreciate that as well. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time.